Hello, everyone. This is Mike and Rainbow, and we are going to do part two of. Go ahead, Rainbow. You do the title.
No, you're good at it.
Oh, I'm good at. Okay, we're going to. The title is "The Macabre of the Paranormal: Risk and Rewards,"
Yes.
or "Rewards and Risks." Okay, we did part one already, so you need to go back and look at part one. I will put in the description, I will put the link to part one, so you can do that. It's going to be some really interesting stuff. So we are going to do part two now. And here we go.
And Michael even changed his hat for you.
Okay, don't tell them. Let's see if they notice it.
I'm sure they noticed.
No, they didn't notice it. Okay, so we're going to start off, and we're going to talk a little bit about risk and reward when it comes to Ouija boards. So, Rainbow, would you like to start off with something like that?
There's all risk. There's no rewards.
Oh, that's really true. She's absolutely right. But
well, and the reason I know you guys are probably really tired of hearing me talk and whine about the Ouija boards, but I just watched a show that I like to watch on YouTube, and it had to do with a woman who had some paranormal activity in her house. Actually, a lot of paranormal activity happens when you kind of refurbish and redo your house, take down walls and stuff. And she started having some paranormal activity, and it was scaring the family. So, of course, what do you do when things are scaring the family? You get the Ouija board, you get all these gadgets where you can talk and ask the spirit questions. But once you do that and you acknowledge the spirit or the entity, the ghost, whoever it is, then what happens is that it's an invitation. And then once you start communicating with it, it's like the paranormal. Once you beckon it, it answers you back. And so what happened was she was getting worse and having worse and worse experiences where things are being moved, people were getting scratched and hurt. And what was she doing? More Ouija board. Mm-hmm. And because she would do it by herself, and you just don't do the Ouija board by yourself. I'm just putting that out there. Do not do it by yourself. You just don't do it. Don't do it at all, but definitely don't do it by yourself. And then more stuff happened, and then it was beyond her control, and she just couldn't do anything about it. So what I'm asking is this critical thinking here. I mean, once the cat's out of the bag, you got a problem. And then you call in someone like me, Michael, or whoever who can go and handle it and try to find resolution. But don't keep doing what don't keep, I think, poking the bear is what I'm trying to say. Because if you keep poking the bear, eventually you're going to get a reaction that you don't expect. And that's what happened to this woman. And that's why I brought this up to Michael.
Yeah, and the one story that, and I have several stories with people, I wasn't ever a Ouija board fan. I think I sensed along the way that this was not the right way to go. But there was one person that worked for me in Tucson, Arizona, and I kind of talked to the woman. She wanted to try her Ouija board, and I said, I don't know. I don't really know if you should. It may not be a hot idea. But anyway, she did. And sure enough, I get the frickin' phone call on the weekend saying, I'm kind of lost. I don't know what's going on. I was doing something with the Ouija board. Now I feel really weird and strange and really terrible. What should I do? I said, great. So I said, hey, listen, the only thing I really know that seems to work is, again, take your shoes off, go outside, sit on your porch, make sure you're on the ground, you're into the ground. If it's some ground, if it's sandy ground, now in Tucson it's kind of a semi-desert type thing. You may not have grass, but you're going to have probably some kind of a sandy dirt. You can kind of wiggle your toes into the sandy dirt. And I said, do that and drink something. I told her also you should drink some water, drink as much water as you can, and keep your feet in there until you feel better. And she did call me back in probably about a half an hour and said, wow, thanks. That seemed to do it. I'm good, and I'm getting rid of the Ouija board. So,
yeah, well, and something else too that the Native Americans often, when I was in Taos and studying with different people, is that they always say that if ever you're in need of an answer, for something or there's a problem, go meditate or go hang with the trees. Because trees are sentient beings, are just they're amazing, and the Native Americans know this. And so when I used to do my vision quests, I would make sure had my little spot between two big trees, so I had their energy along with whatever else I was going to be experiencing during those few days of trying to find answers and stuff. But trees are really wonderful for if you, but it's a Native American way. I mean, people who are scared when they do stuff like that don't think about going outside and grounding, and they don't always think about, I touch trees. I love touching, I'll touch the bark and just say thank you and just acknowledge them. And there's a comfort level there that you can get from nature that can bring you back into reality, because we have because we're born here, we have the right to hang in this reality and to live a good life. Anything coming in that's trying to keep us from doing that doesn't have that right, and I think we have to remember that. So, but just remember that when you do play around with the paranormal, and to me the Ouija board is playing around, you don't want to do that. You don't need the Ouija board to actually communicate with spirits. That's the interesting thing all about it. You don't. Mm-hmm. But it just makes it more fun, and it makes it into a game. And the Victorians were big on the afterlife, obviously. They had this intrigue with it. So it's obvious. Well, to me, it makes sense why it came from them. But you have to have an understanding of the paranormal. Right. You can't just be afraid of it all the time.
Yeah, we have I believe two or three other videos on the Ouija board, more extensive in detail. And if you go to our channel, of course, you can find those on our channel. I think you enjoy them. So anyways, okay, so moving along, let's talk a little bit about kind of skinwalkers and kind of hauntings and impasse. Maybe a little bit of conversation about our Utah. What happened in Utah?
Yeah. The thing that I learned the most from all of that, and we've talked about it enough in other videos.
Right.
But I just want to kind of reiterate here that when you're open to the paranormal, it'll respond to you. And when we were on the Skinwalker Ranch and standing around for an hour or so, it seemed like, to me, nothing happened. Well, boy, was I wrong, because things started happening once we got home. Right. So the time frame for the paranormal isn't what we always expect. And I think that, there's some people who can go into a haunted house and never get scared, never experience anything that a noise or hear. They're just like, somehow they're blocked to it, oblivious or blocked. Others will go in and then they'll have every experience under the sun and get scared to the point to where they scream and they run out and they don't want to go back. But it just depends on your frame of mind whenever you do anything with the paranormal. I think that to go into any location with an oblivious and an ignorant state of mind is not the way to go. And you don't want to go into a haunted house to get scared. You want to go there to for us, it would be research and to get evidence and to get responses and stuff. But you can't constantly, like I was saying earlier, poke the bear and think that it's okay to be scared all the time, because it really affects us emotionally as human beings. And I think that eventually what happens is that, the rewards are getting all that research information and stuff like that. The risks are what you bring home with you, and we have brought stuff home with us. Even visiting friends, we have brought stuff home with us unintentionally. Right. It just happens. You have to know how to get rid of it, and you have to have the confidence to know that you can get rid of it. It has everything to do with knowing who you are, and that you have the right for your home to be your sanctuary. But right. But don't think that just because Skinwalker Ranch, that it's out there, or any other ranch, because I did a video on some other ranches that have intrigued me, that you can go to a place and come back and then start having stuff happen to you. Don't think that it's just going to be, and you've often said that there's no hot spot for anything. No. It can happen anytime, anywhere.
Yeah, and they love to latch onto you, and they love to kind of, you carry them to another place, and it could be your home, and hang out with you there because that's a new place for them. You know, they kind of like to explore that, and some of them would love to stay there. But you know, when we had the problem in Utah, Rainbow pretty much got to the point. We thought it was kind of funny at first, but she got to the point where it was getting ridiculous. So she just
in the middle of the night when electronics were turning on by themselves, it got a little spooky, you know. Or with the incubus or succubus for me, I can't remember which one it was.
That would be the incubus.
Incubus, yeah, incubus. Yeah. But I saw it. I literally saw it, and I had actual crazy paranormal activity with that thing.
Right.
So you never know, but I get mad, and after a while you just get to the fact where when you're at home, you don't want to walk around being scared of your own home. You know, that I don't think that's okay for any of us.
Right. So okay, let's talk a little bit about TV viewpoints, these shows that are on TV.
Yeah. To me, it's like, if you look at anything on TV, and it's kind of hard for me anymore to watch TV shows, because it always it's evil and demonic, and that's kind of the viewpoint they're going on, or before even finding out what the whole situation is in hauntings. If someone goes into a home and someone was there before them, and maybe somebody was unfortunately murdered, or some unfortunate thing happened to them that is horrendous, and that spirit doesn't go on, that doesn't make them evil. It just means that they're a victim of circumstance. They didn't move on. But if this spirit's trying to get their attention, which is in certain shows that I've watched, spirits have tried to get people's attention, they always assume first off that it's evil, or it's a demon. Mm-hmm. And I've stated this before, that if you want to be open to the paranormal and go into a haunting and deal with spirits, you can't assume everything's dark and evil. Something can be some being or spirit could be very distressed and doesn't know at this point how to get help, because I think that spirits there at certain points need help moving on. They just haven't figured out how to do it. Or maybe they want resolution for something that was done to them or a family member. But I don't think everything has to always be evil in order for you to resolve a problem. What do you think?
No, I agree. I mean, I think there's two sides to all these paranormal things. There may be a bit of an evil side, but there may be kind of a good, positive side on it. And I think we have to look at both sides of it, and look more at a variety of people and how they're looking at it, their viewpoints, right, basically. So
yes, there can be multiple spirits in a house, and maybe one is a negative spirit, and the others are all good. And then the negative one is bullying the other ones. You don't know till you get into a situation in a home that's haunted, and then figure it out. Right. But I think that the one thing that people want today is they want that how can I put it?
The thrill?
Yeah, thrill, but there's something else. I was trying to think of the word, but I can't think of it. But anyways, yeah, we'll just say thrill. People want to just have that thrill factor.
The rush.
Yeah, and they want someone else to go out and do it so they can watch it.
Right.
And then and that's fine. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, not everybody's cut out to go out and go to haunted houses, and not everybody wants to. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I think we have to use our critical thinking and realize that if we're dealing with spirits who have been on this planet and have had lives lived, then we have to try to understand who they are and what happened with them, and why they haven't moved on. And if there's other entities and other things have come in, and there are things, yes, because I just did a video on um, the demonic, so possession. So that can happen, but what I'm just saying, it just didn't have to be black or white all the time. There's all those shades of gray in the middle that makes the paranormal very interesting, at least for me. And then I don't ever make a decision on anything before I get somewhere, just based on what I've been told. I have to go in there and experience what's happened and just kind of see what's going on there. So I think that's really important for everybody who's dealing with the paranormal like we do, to just try to be as rational as possible about the whole scenario, because we've even had experiences where I did vortex photography outside, and I invited little fairy folk, and they've come around, and so
Yeah,
we've done that.
We've had all kinds of experiences right here at our home.
Yeah, and Michael's heard sounds.
Yeah, some
out
really
front.
Strange.
Yeah,
I'm
Rainbow,
standing.
What'd you do?
I'm standing on the porch. This was a little bit before Rainbow's story, but I was standing on the porch, and I could not believe it. It was these little fairy kind of sounds. It was kind of like a little music, a little this. It was very, very similar to a time when I was on Sandia Mountain in Albuquerque, outside of Albuquerque, where I would actually, they had fairy mounds there, and I actually brought a glass one time. I put my ear to the glass and the glass on the ground, and you would not believe. I wish I would have figured out a way to record it, but it was some amazing kind of singing and music, and all kinds of little stuff was coming, little voices. I couldn't understand all the language, but it was really, really quite amazing what happened there. But anyways, there's some very positive rewards to things in the paranormal, and then of course there is the risks. So
you took the glass to the ear and the ear to the ground.
I took the glass to the ear to the ground. Yeah, something like that. It was
and he
pretty
wasn't
close.
taking anything at the time.
No, I wasn't.
And he doesn't drink.
No,
I can vouch for that.
Yeah,
so.
I don't drink. So, anyways, that's it. So, hey, anyways, I think that's about it for today.
Yeah.
That's part 2.
Go
and look at part 1.
Yeah.
And go and look. Here's another thing I want you to do. Rainbow and I have made almost 150 videos of various subjects on the paranormal, UFOs, Sasquatch, you name it, we've done it. Okay? Yeah. So go out. Yeah, we've done it. So go out and watch some of them. We have plenty of them, and they're basically just us out there
boring
doing the
us.
research, going out
We're
there.
not boring.
Going out there and doing our thing. So, anyways, I think you'll enjoy many of them. Some of them are really, really good, and some of them are mediocre.
Yeah, and there's going to be people out there who think we're weird and nuts.
No. Let's not say that. Okay.
It's okay. I don't care.
Okay. So that's good.
But I wanted to tell everybody.
Okay.
Don't forget to subscribe. I want to make sure there's no glare. To Paranormal Underground. This is the issue that I have my what did we title this?
I don't know.
The Macabre.
Oh yeah.
I did an article on the Macabre of the Paranormal in this issue. But hey, if you guys can, just subscribe to them, because I know that Chad and Cheryl would greatly appreciate it. So, paranormalunderground.net.
Okay. With all that said, thanks. And if you want to send us a private email, it's dimensionalwalking@gmail.com. Please comment.
Don't forget Truth Seeker Forum.
And yes, we have tremendous amount of. There's some of the videos are on there from here, but there's articles. A lot of articles on there, probably 1,500 articles. Some of them that Rainbow and I have written, but other ones from other people also. So, anyways, I guess with all that said, that's it.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.